Good music, isn't it? Makes you feel good all over. Well, I need to tell you, 2 Saturdays ago, I left my farm and drove Shakertown Road to Spears Lane. Turned right on Spears Lane, got about halfway down through there, and turned left into the Red Bud Farm. I needed to see my friend Brian Gover, who had leased that farm this year and was combining his soybeans. Upon Brian's insistence, I climbed up into the combine, and Roy, the header on that thing was somewhere between 24 and 30 feet wide. Huge machine. From that unique vantage point in that combine, which is probably 15 feet off the ground, and a huge windshield, must have been 8 feet wide, I got to view 200 acres of rolling land planted in soybeans waiting for the harvest. While Brian operated that combine, I started studying the yield monitor, which tells the operator on an ongoing basis how many bushels per acre were being harvested. Much to my surprise, after the drought of 2012, that yield monitor was registering from 43 to 63 bushels per acre, well over the normal for the state in a good year. As we traveled around circle after circle throughout that farm, I started noticing that there were no bumps, ditches, or erosion areas that would jar the combine. The land was very, very smooth. It indicated to me that it was quite evident that someone had worked hard for many years to take good care of that land. The Red Bud Farm was purchased in 1966 by Mr. and Mrs. B.J. Gilbert. Mr. and Mrs. Gilbert are the great-grandparents of Cora and Benjamin. Benjamin, can you wave to me? Let people see who Benjamin is and Cora. They're seated there with their mom, Michelle King Gilbert. Their father is Joe. My experience that Saturday was a clear reminder what good stewards the Gilbert family has been for decades with their land. Mr. BJ was an advocate of and practiced a cropping procedure, a technology called no-till seeding. No-till seeding is a technology whereby seed is introduced and planted into the ground without plowing. In this area, we have enough rolling topography that if we're not careful, if we plow our land year after year, the land is subject to serious erosion. And when erosion occurs over a consecutive number of years, crop yields are reduced because of a loss of that precious topsoil. Well, no-till farming originated in Illinois in 1960. It was practiced in Kentucky for the first time in Christian County, Kentucky in 1962 under the direction of Dr. Shirley Phillips, an agronomist at the University of Kentucky. In Kentucky today, over 80% of the soybeans and 50% of the corn acres are planted using this minimum tillage technology. Mr. Gilbert understood that it was vital for his crop yields in years to come for him to use practices that would prevent erosion of his precious land.